Hi, everybody. I'm Viv from Hey Viv, and I'm here today with Jandora. She is an Instagram influencer, a brand ambassador, and is currently studying costume design at Purchase College. And you know, Jandora, just seeing you makes me happy. You're bubbly, and you have such an interesting look and rainbows, and it just makes my day.
Thank you.
I want to read a quote from your Instagram feed that I thought was very important to just kind of where you get started, which is really going to be my question. Your quote is, or what you said is, it's because of drag queens and basically the LGBTQ plus community that I dress the way I dress. I'm inspired by them every day. Thank you for giving me the courage to dress however I want. And tell me, how did your style evolve, and how did you discover that freedom to dress up?
So I always loved drag queens, and sophomore year I decided to go to DragCon. Me and my friend was supposed to go together, but my friend ended up canceling last minute. So my mom still took me. She dropped me into the city, and I went. That was my first convention I went to, and I went by myself. And I did dress up to it, but I was like super nervous. And as soon as I stepped foot into the convention, it was at Jacob Javits Center, I felt like I was in another world. Like, I was just so shocked. I was like, whoa, like, where am I? Like, everyone dressed how I wanted to dress. It was just insane, and everyone was happy. It was like a positive vibe. No one was like looking at you weirdly. I just felt so comfortable. So then after the convention, which was like 3 days, or I think maybe 2 days long, because that was like the first DragCon. After that, I was like, should I go to school with a wig on? Should I try doing that? Like, ooh, and I started getting like all these cool ideas. I'm like, maybe I should start putting this on. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. I just felt like so inspired.
Sure, you see people who feel and dress like you. It's like, oh, I can be freer. I can I can show other people maybe what's inside me. Once I see, I felt that way when I went to my first steampunk event. I walked in, it was like, oh, my peeps, I'm here.
Right.
I'm wearing a cape and I'm wearing a this and a that, and it was like, yes.
Yeah, you're like, I feel like I'm at home. This is where I belong.
That's right. Yeah. And one of your early characters, I think, or personas, was Princess Candy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Princess Candy.
So I went to this convention. It's called the Black Comic Festival, and they usually have like a cosplay show. So I like the cosplay show a lot, and I did it the year before. So this year I decided to do it again. I knew they were gonna ask me questions like, "Who's your character? What you're playing?" I'm like, I'm not really cosplaying as someone, so I just came up with a character right off the bat. There, I was like, Princess Candy. Like, let me just make her into a princess, and I kind of just went with the flow. And I'm like, she really feels like she belongs. Like, I really felt like she was a character for me, because I usually put on like a lot of different outfits, and not all the outfits end up being a persona or a character, because it all depends on what I'm feeling. And like Princess Candy, she really stuck with me, and I felt like she can really develop into her own character. She basically lives in the candy kingdom, and she loves eating candy a little bit too much, so that's why her teeth are rainbow. But she has like a really joyful personality. She's super sweet. She likes exploring, so she's a lot of fun to play with.
Sure, I bet it's a lot of fun to dress up as her, and I'm sure as you're talking to people, you are developing the ideas. The rainbow teeth, for example, is very sweet, but it's also a real expression of that character. She likes candy.
Yeah.
And I understand that what you, the way you dress, you refer to it as ClownCore. I know there's other names for it, but I find that's that really, to me, expresses it more than clown punk, although I know you do a little clown punk also.
Yeah. So, ClownCore is basically different types of clown stuff. So you just have basically the core of clown. So you have like some clown like accessories, but there's but then there's different types of clown, but they all fall under ClownCore. And I really started getting into ClownCore because of my rainbow hair. So people were like, dress as a clown, try doing a clown. And I did my first clown, and it actually turned out really well. Tons of people really liked it. I really appreciate the support because I didn't expect to get like so much appreciation for that clown look I did. So I'm definitely going to get more into ClownCore because it's just a lot of fun. And I feel like you could do so much with ClownCore because you can create whatever different type of clown you want to be. It's a fun style.
Right, and it's also a style that's more than costume, because it seems to be more an aesthetic, like a way of expressing yourself that kind of has a community. From looking through Instagram, and using the hashtag, I was surprised to see what a wide range. Yes. And in fact, I've noticed that in your Instagram, you're very inclusive. And one of the things I noticed that you were talking about people of color in cosplay, dressing, people questioning whether that was appropriate. And I just wanted to touch on that for a minute because you're part of this big group, ClownCore. Do you feel it's an inclusive group? Does it promote including everyone?
I just feel like POC community, you don't really see much of them depending on like what you're dressing as. Like ClownCore, you see some POCs, people of color, black people doing it. It's not, I don't see it that often compared to like punk. Like I would see more POC or black people just doing punk. Even that we get like a lot of issues with. But ClownCore, I think that it's kind of hard to find a lot of black people doing ClownCore, just POCs in general, because I feel like a lot of them think that they're not able to do it, or it's just not something that they can do because they're of a different race or a different color. So that's why I like doing different styles specifically, because I am attempting to try out different styles because I like it, but I also want to show like POCs and black people that you guys can try out whatever style you want, as long as it's like not disrespectful or you're not doing anything that's inappropriate to another culture. But you could do whatever style you want, no matter what you look like. And so that's why I try to show with whatever community I do join when dressing in fashion, I try to show that you can do it too, and you're able to do it, even if you're like the only person that's in that style. There are some people out there, but I think a lot of them are like either hidden or just like, that's the thing too. A lot of people would like post pictures and stuff, but especially with social media, a lot of POCs and black people tend to be like shadow banned, or just they're not being shown as much. So it's kind of hard to promote. So even if there are some out there, it's kind of hard for me to even find in the first place, because they're usually on the very low down when it comes to like looking at Instagram posts. Even with TikTok too, it's really hard. If I find anyone, like especially black or POCs that are doing something like that's really cool, I will try to share them on my Instagram stories or on my Instagram itself, because I'm like, hey, we have another person here who's really cool and interesting, but of course you're not going to really see them because Instagram and other social media apps tend to block POCs and black people more. So that's why when I do find someone, I try to share, and I think it's just good uplifting your community and sharing your community anyways, because we really need whatever support that we can get.
And of course, in very Zoom fashion, we lost audio at the end of the interview. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Jandora for joining us today. Jandora, you are a wonderful, outspoken, outrageous clown punk, ClownCore, doesn't matter. You make everything sparkle. It was a pleasure talking to you. This is Viv from Hey Viv. Thanks for joining us today.